Oh, it's a big day today. I am nervous. I'm excited. And, Pablo's ringing me. What could he want at this time?
Hello, Senor Space.
Pablo, my man.
Yes, it's me, Pablo.
It's good to hear from you, dude. What can I do for you?
Well, I just wanted to let you know ahead of this final. If we lose this game, I want to leave the club.
So you're telling me that if we don't win today, you want to leave? Am I getting that straight?
Oh, and if we win it, I might also want to leave.
So you want to leave no matter what is what you're telling me?
No, I don't want a new contract.
Oh, my man, look, you are our star man. This is not what I need from you at this moment in time. As if there wasn't enough riding on this. Like, you're telling me that you just want to leave if...
I'll see you for the game later.
Yeah, I guess I will see you for the game. I will see you for the game, Pablo. Yeah, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. How's it going, folks? And welcome back. It's episode number 22 of Park 2 Primera. Yesterday, we had a playoff semi-final. Today, we have a final. Yeah, I wanted to give people who maybe missed yesterday's video a moment of realisation to think, oh crap, I need to pause the video and go back one. No, today we take on Cartagena. You know what's happening. It's a big one. It's going to be a huge challenge for us, I think. And while it's two teams who go into this as pretty massive underdogs. Two teams who at the start of the year were predicted to be in the bottom half. At the end of today's episode, either ourselves or Cartagena will be in La Liga. I want to believe it will be us. And well, given our recent form, I have to believe that Mexica and Pablo Torre are going to be pretty important to our aspirations. Two players who have really put the rest of the team on the backpack and carried them to glory, it feels like, this year. Yeah, Torre was superb, obviously, last episode. He's been superb for the entirety of the second half of the season, in truth. And it would be safe to say I'm a little bit nervous today. Now, of course, this is a hugely unexpected possibility to get promoted this year. We were only promoted to the second tier of Spain last year. We do have a bit of a reputation for bottling it in the playoffs after our very first year, but today is a game over two legs. You can see here the board are absolutely delighted with how things are going. We've repaired the financial damage this year. We've remained in La Liga 2. We could even go one step further. That'll be my dream. It just feels like a great time to be here at the club. Even if we weren't to succeed this season in the playoffs, the platform for next year is massive. I say platform, it's a springboard. This is a massive opportunity to just leap and bounce up. We've got one instalment left of our debt to repay, and then it's done. And then we're free, and suddenly the money will hopefully start to pile up. Truth be told, if we were to get promoted this year, it'd be massively unexpected. It would come at a point where I don't necessarily feel prepared for it. I think it would be us going into a season anticipating to go back down. You know, the likes of Pablo and Mexica, they've been essential this year. There's question marks even over how good they would be going up into the next year. I do feel like we've punched massively above our weight. And also have Cartagena to an extent. Their key man is Arribas, who is a wide attacking player who they picked up from Castilla a couple of years ago. You can see he's got 11 goals and 17 assists. I think it's kind of obvious. He is the man that we need to try and shut down today. And I do think, actually, he may have even been a player I looked at signing at one point when he got released from Real Madrid. I mean, he looks like a good player if we just compare him to Pablo Torre. Just, you know, for a sake of comparison, you can see it. Pablo Torre is the better player. Fingers crossed he's going to show that on the pitch today. Now, of course, this playoff format is over two legs, the first of which is away from home. So a little bit of a challenge for us today. In terms of team news, in terms of where we're at, we are going to play the same team that won that second leg against Albacete so emphatically. A 4-0 win, you may remember. Wouldn't mind a little bit more of that. Martinez could be pretty important in us trying to achieve that. Elsewhere in the team, Hardy's going to be playing out on the left wing. And the rest of the team very much picks itself. Rojas and Williams to start at centre-back today. Feels like over the last couple of episodes, there's always been players at the back suspended. Today, that is not the case. And in fact, when you look across the entire team, with the exception of Bicho, who I think we can sneak onto the bench, and Chimiti, who's also coming back from injury, I'm just thinking about whether or not I want to put Chimiti on the bench. You know what? I'm not going to. Not for the first game. Fran Kabir is our impact sub if we need a Mexica replacement. And, well, it's nice to see Bicho back and fit. He's a really good player. He obviously has the injury proneness trait as well, so it's never ideal. but he is at least on the bench today, and I want to say we've missed him a little bit, but truth be told, over the last kind of 5 matches, all of which we've remained unbeaten through, I haven't really ever had a moment where I wished Bicho was around. If we need a penalty taker, if we need a penalty scorer, he is probably the man we would turn to. The plan for today is we do both matches live. Next episode, we'll have the end of season roundup and a bit of a transfer special. So lots of reasons to be a little bit excited for what's to come. Regardless of if we get promoted or not, there will be a transfer special. There is going to be money to spend in it, but how much money there is going to be to spend, I suppose, completely rides on this result. Coming up to 20 minutes gone already. We have not seen anything. This is a game where there is not a whole lot of highlights. Of course, being the away team, getting an away goal could be pretty important, and well, that is mental. That is not the start I needed today. Rodrigo Fernandez has just murdered a man, and that gives us a mountain to climb in the first. I can't believe what I've just seen. Okay, so in terms of plan, I think I am going to set myself up here just to try and sponge up as much pressure as possible. I mean, it's going to be a monumental task now, isn't it? Suddenly down a man. I think we just need to look to kill off this game and just get in with as little damage done as possible. I'm going to switch to a balanced philosophy. We're going to go to a 4-4-1. Mexica's going to have a big job on his hands holding up the play. I mean, let's be completely honest here. This isn't what I wanted in the first leg today. Fernandez, a player who I've been so high on all year. I've been so happy with this man. He's been unbelievable, the 22-year-old. And, well, that is a moment, isn't it, to get your first red card of the season. Right, I've ended up going with this, something a little asymmetric. I want Martinez and Torre to get up the pitch still and try and support Mexica. But I think a lot of today is now just about not conceding too many, just keeping it firm at the back. Let's give ourselves a shot going into the second leg. At the break, though, here, it is 0-0. There has been 2 shots on target all game. That red card. Should we watch it again? I mean, what was going through his head? I mean, mental. I don't think anything was going through his head. Lads, I'm not happy. I'm going to tell them I'm not happy, just because I think that is probably the best way to get a reaction. Yeah, 0-0's fine at this point. This is not the start to the half we wanted. I imagine they're going to come out on the front foot here. They're going to want to get a goal. Switched over to Arribas, who is their key man. Do not foul him. Carrasco, it's not... Okay, I thought a penalty had been given. It's not a penalty, but it has fallen to Perez. I had my head in my hands. I just assumed Carrasco had fouled a man. I've seen things that look less like a foul given. Right, 25 minutes left in this game now. Martinez out on the right's had a pretty quiet game, although, you know, it's difficult to judge player performances too much today. I'm going to make a couple of changes just in the team, I think. Who am I going to take off here? I've got this weird shape that I've never played before, and whilst it suits the players I've got here, it doesn't really suit the players on the bench. I have got one sub still left. There's a temptation to bring in Bicho here, actually, over Cabanzon. I'm gonna do that. Big call here, Bicho. You are the man I think can make a difference for us out on the left. Please don't let me down. They've got space on the near side. Changes still haven't happened. Can we stand up and defend? Ball's whipped in. Machedo punches it away slightly unconvincingly to Nacho Hill, and well, his effort is going to get smashed at the man at the near post. Changes made. 15 minutes left. 0-0 would not be a disastrous result here by any means. What it would mean is a scoring draw isn't good enough for us in the second leg. But given the fact we went a man down here, being able to go into the game at home knowing a win is all we need to do is probably all the best kind of case scenario. Bicho breaking down this left-hand side now. One of the rare chances we have going forward. And he's played it into Mexica for goal number 33 of the year. And you know what? I ummed and I ahed about those changes. I wasn't sure if Bicho was the one. I think we can sit here now and say it was the right change. Pushed him higher up the pitch. He brought it forward really, really well. And then this ball of quality, Mexica's run time to perfection on the volley, finds the corner. 1-0 and down a man. What a great performance this has been here. A real show of character. And well, now we have a corner. Pablo whips it in. Williams is under it. And suddenly 1 becomes 2. We might be down a man, we might be away from home, but we have fight in us. I don't want to say it too prematurely here. I think we've got a foot in La Liga as things stand. I have still got to work out how I'm going to replace Reece Williams, though. He's popped up with a lot of goals like that one. He is a miss for us. Oh my word, we have another chance here. Pablo, deep free kick whipped in. Hardy couldn't quite get there. They might look now to spring the counter-attack. Jose Maria for them. Machedo's not had a great deal to do here. He might have a little bit to do as, well, a rather tame effort on goal is the result of that breakaway. 4 minutes left. They are definitely going for this now. They need a goal. 2-0 is not a good enough result for them. And Rojas slides in to perfection on a yellow card. He couldn't get that one wrong. He does win us the ball, but unfortunately that big ball lumped clear the way of Mexica isn't ideal because he's up there on his lonesome and he's not gotten it. And while Jose Maria, he might get another chance here. Machedo, though, makes another great stopping goal for us. Cometh the man, cometh the hour, and that, my friends, is the end of the first leg. And besides a couple of late chances for them, we contained them well. I don't think you would have noticed we were down a man. Bicho came on off the bench. I take back what I said earlier about not missing him. We have missed him. I just didn't know what I was missing out on. Oh, 2-0. What a result that is. Now, I do have the option to appeal the tackle by Fernandez. Not going to do that. I am going to fine him some wages, though. That was the worst tackle I've ever seen at the worst moment. He has the rest of the team to thank, I feel like, after that. Oh, my word. I can't believe that game. I genuinely thought when we kind of had that red card given to us, we'd blown it. And whilst, of course, there is still a second leg, and I don't want to get carried away, I mean, how can I not be delighted about that? I'm not going to the press. I've still not learnt Spanish. I can't talk to them. Stuff might get lost in translation. I realised off the back of that result, I'm just in a bit of a state of shock. I'm just fumbling through screens whilst talking, which isn't the point in a video. We have still got a second leg to play. I shouldn't get carried away. I can't get carried away, but I have got carried away. It's in 3 days' time. We are at home for it. We surely have to get promoted now. We are massive favourites. I mean, if we lose this, I have bottled it, and there is no other way to frame it. I am trying really hard to remain calm, but it's difficult not to get excited now about the prospect of promotion. We have one game left of the season. We are at home for it. We have a 2-goal lead. Surely we can't blow this. I don't want to tempt fate, but it can't happen. It's not going to happen. I want to believe. I feel like I'm willing this upon myself, but you've got to understand from our perspective, we never thought we'd get promoted this year. The finances, they're not going to be revolutionary. It's not like we're going into the English Premier League and getting loads of TV money. But compared to where we're at right now, it is going to make a monumental difference. In terms of team for today's game, Martinez is going to stay out on the right-hand side for us. Bicho is going to come in to start. Hardy picked up an injury in that last game. He's not quite shrugged it off. Of course, in the midfield, Fernandez is suspended. As a result, Paz is going to drop into the defensive mid position for us. He's more than capable of playing there. And alongside him, Pablo Martinez is going to come into the team to play as the box-to-box midfielder, a player who we brought in this year on a free transfer. He's not been particularly impressive, but maybe today's the day for Pablo Martinez. Maybe today he can show us what he's all about. The rest of the team, though, is unchanged. Just a bit of shuffling in the midfield. Mexica, Torre. Let's see how they got on today. I feel like Pablo, by his own exceptionally high standards, was a little bit quiet in the first leg. I say that knowing that he took the corner that led to an assist, but I mean, I expect him to contribute with at least, 2 assists or goals every game. That's the record he set for himself as of late. Maybe he can pull that off today, though. And, well, here we are. It is the playoff final. We are at home. We've got our awful palm trees in view. In terms of their team, Ceballos is the man to keep an eye out for, I think, up front. He's got 25 goals to his name. It's weird, actually. Ceballos and Arribas for them are basically their Mexica and Pablo Torre. It seems like the framework to get promoted from this league is just to score a lot of goals with a good creative midfielder and someone who can finish. We kept them quiet, though, in the first leg. We'll hope that we can do that again here. And please, no sendings off. Thank you. Corner here for Pablo in the rain. Whipped near post. Williams hits the post. I do kind of hope that we can loan Reece Williams next year. He's so good. I mean, there's still a chance here. Bicho to Paz. Bicho hits it. Oh my word. The keeper gets fingertips on it to get it clear. Martinez does still have it in a dangerous area. I mean, is there something more here? No, not with a killer pass like that. I feel like Paz is not the man we brought into the team to slice open defences with his passing. I think that was a pretty good example of it there. Bicho on the sideline with an injury does scare me just a little bit. He's had, obviously, his fair share of injury issues. Really could do with him not getting injured here. I don't want to be forced into an early sub. Oh, my word. Mahika's through. He's tucked it away, and he makes it 3-0 on aggregate, and I don't want to speak prematurely. They have to now score 3 goals without reply. Carrasco with an incredible ball through from deep. Apparently Bicho's bruised his foot. That doesn't seem to me like an injury that requires you to be subbed off, especially in the final game of the year. If there was matches ahead, I'd kind of understand, but there isn't. It could actually happen. The reality is starting to sink in. I've never been promoted to La Liga from the second tier of Spain before. I have no idea what the kind of contrast of finances could be. But I'm excited. I'm getting giddy. At the break, it has been one-way traffic. I am very pleased. I'm not even scared of complacency right now. I think we can go for this. Though Arribas, he might have other ideas as it's whipped in. And the man who I've sung and danced the praises about all year scores an own goal. I mean, is that your parting gift to us, Williams? Is that your goodbye? I mean, what has he... It's just kind of hit him and gone in. Maybe we just need to calm down with the party atmosphere just for a little bit. Let's steady ourselves now. Right, Bicho is struggling. I'm going to sub him off for Cabanzon. Elsewhere in the team, Pablo is tired, but I can't take Pablo off, not right now. We'll bring in Pettersson at box-to-box midfielder, I think. Really just want to see this game out now. And in fact, let's just start to time waste a turn. Half an hour left. They would have to score 2 goals without reply. It feels unlikely, but I want to do everything within my power to make sure it doesn't happen. Herrero down to Pablo on this near side. That is a crunching tackle that's gone in. Pablo still manages to get the ball into the box. That said, they could catch us out on the break here. We've got plenty of men back. We should be fine. This feels like a situation we should be dealing with. And if they just want to give us the possession like that, we will deal with it. Martinez, the youngster, bringing it forward, lays it inside to Pablo, who, well, fails his pass, but gets it back. And we're knocking it around really nicely here. Really, really nicely. Carrasco already has 1 assist this game. Could he get another from the right-hand side? Can't pick out Martinez, and now actually he could be caught out of position here as Arribas is going to look to attack that space behind the right-back. A goal now for them, and things get interesting. Ceballos, his shot's blocked, and Pettersson just about gets it away from danger. Let's demand more, and let's also just lower the tempo. 3 minutes left, a goal now, and it is done. Cabanzon in the wide area. Plays it across. It's a great ball into the mixer. It is dealt with by them. And now Ceballos, all on his lonesome, needs to provide some inspiration. He's bringing it forward. Can he get a shot away? He can. But Machado, not for the first time today, makes a save in the one-on-one. Well, this game is done. And unbelievably, as they give away a penalty. I mean, I think that's in the box. We're going to get promoted. We are actually going to get promoted. And whilst we've always been in and around the playoffs, I really feel like we've found a new peak at the right time. I'm assuming that this is going to be given as a penalty. I'd be amazed if it wasn't. It is going to be. And it's going to be Mahika over it, but actually, that's not how I want to end the season. I want to give Pablo Torre the penalty to end the season. Let's give him a chance to say the final words on what has been an incredible season for us. A season that is going to see us return to La Liga. Pablo steps up, hits it into the top corner. Cool as you like. Makes it 2-1 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. It was already certain. It was already done. But that is a nice way to cap off this performance and this season. And now I've got to think about the new challenge ahead. How are we going to stay up with this team? We are going to have such a difficult season next year. And on one hand, I'm a little bit terrified. On the other hand, I am so excited. Oh my word. You can see here, we get promoted. Bicho's injured. He'll be out for a day. He can handle that. We return to La Liga Santander. I mean, it's so good. It even has our name in it. You can see here, 2023, we have been promoted back to the big time. 11 years ago, we finished rock bottom. Now we get to return. Now we get to maybe have some revenge. What kind of money are we going to be given? So we're currently spending £90,000 a week on wages. I would like to think the wage budget's going to be doubled. Maybe I'm a bit kind of carried away here, but it feels like it should be doubled. The debt's been paid off. We've got no more of those expenses. We're going up a league. What are you giving me, board? 155k, 7.8 million though in transfer budget. That is not an insignificant sum of money. Apparently some players want a rest. You've probably earned your rest, lads. I will be completely honest with you. Now, I said earlier that I wasn't going to do the end of season awards today, but I think we will do them today. And then next episode, we will come back for a bit of a transfer special, a bit like we did last summer. I think that was really, really fun. And, well, speaking of the awards, here we are. What a season. What a season. Reece Williams, one of our latest transfers that we made, the final piece of the puzzle. I mean, he at centre-back was sensational, as was Rojas to an extent. The best 20 quid I've ever spent. And I once bought an electric toothbrush, so that really is saying a lot for Rojas. Yeah, I mean, the two centre-backs this year, newly signed, top draw for us. To be fair, the likes of Angong, obviously we signed, and then he's been in the reserve team and then been loaned out this year. I look at players like Fernandez, besides his red card, he was pretty good this year at centre mid. I mean, you can see here, Martinez played a fair bit. Fair few players this year who we brought in who perhaps didn't have as much of an impact as I hoped. When you think about it, the kind of players who stood out are Mexica and Pablo Torre, but they were both here last year. They've got that understanding. They've got that gelling. Mexica ends up being the top goal scorer. We are promoted from 5th place. And here's our results across the season. And you can see that end of season form was so big for us. We were so just good. I mean, I don't think there's a better word for it. We were just unstoppable. We definitely had a little bit of a blip at the end of the season. Of course, after this run of games, we changed some stuff up. And it really did work. And to be honest, it makes me wonder what are we going to do next year tactically? Because I think it's probably a little naive to think we can boss games like we did this year against teams in the league above with just significantly better players. Our biggest win was 5-1. Match to remember, a 6-3 win. Financially, things are on the up, and they're going to continue, obviously, to be on the up with promotion. The debt is paid off. That's the biggest thing, really. The debt is paid off. The debt is gone, everyone. That in itself is the most exciting thing to me. You can see here, in terms of how we lined up, there was a period, especially earlier in the year, where we struggled to find some stability. Of course, Bruno Paz and Rodrigo Fernandez came in at centre mid in January. Neither of them have particularly good ratings, but we definitely played better, I feel like, once we got them settled into the team. Of course, it goes without saying, I think 2 key partnerships this year. The one up top we've talked about all day, and I could talk about it again, but I won't. Mexica and Pablo has been great, but at the back, make no mistake, the combination of Rojas and of Williams was really important to this season, and even Machado to an extent. I do feel like Machado got better as the season went on. I mean, you look at him, he's a decent player for most La Liga sides. He's improved a hell of a lot during his time at the club. I feel like he's still learning as well. And whilst there's been a fair few times this year where he's left me with my head in my hands, definitely view him as a player that we can look to rely on, I think, going into next year. Please don't timestamp that and then come back to this in a year's time when we're getting relegated and he's been awful. In terms of accolades, I didn't win any manager awards, so we'll just ignore this column here. This doesn't need to exist. In terms of fans player of the season, Pablo Torre. Young player of the season, Pablo Torre. I mean, what a season. It's been 26 assists, 14 player of the matches, a 7.4 rating as well. Absolutely insane by him. In terms of record breakers, Mexica set a record for goals with 34 this season. Pablo Torre's 26 assists was significant. Machado, 14 clean sheets. I mean, in 42 games, that isn't that impressive, but considering how attacking we play, considering how open we can leave ourselves at the back, it's not a bad total, is it, by any means? In terms of the seasonal best 11, kind of unsurprising. It's the team that I played for most of the year. In fact, it is just the team I played for most of the year, kind of leading the way. Bicho, 17 goals. Pablo Torre actually got 13 goals in the end. That is more than I realised that he'd got. I'm really excited to see how he can do for us in La Liga. Of course, his current contract has 2 years left on it. I'm going to hope that with our promotion, he might change his mind over the summer and decide he does want to sign a new deal with us. In terms of defensive efficiency, we were a quiet and leaky team. We didn't actually concede that many chances against us. It just tended to be really good opportunities. In terms of the attacking efficiency, I think this is one area where we really shone, actually. We were aggressive, we were clinical, and our goal scoring really was what set us apart this year and obviously allowed us to get promoted. Expected points was 77.3. Expected position was 3rd. We actually got 5th. We underperformed in some of these metrics. So maybe we were just unlucky this year. Maybe we could have got automatic promotion. I've noticed there is no longer a fix the club's finances vision, which is really nice. We need to play solid defensive football and look to play on the counter-attack. That's going to be a challenge this year without Williams. I'm going to have to find a Williams replacement, and that's going to be not a small task by any means. And I think we're just going to tell the players, you've done brilliantly to get promoted. Hopefully when we get back, there'll be new faces to help us stay up next time around. Do you think we're capable of surviving? I'm dubious. Okay, no one thinks we can stay up. I'm getting deja. That happened last year, didn't it? That happened last year. You would have thought I would have learnt by now. Obviously, we've got a bit of transfer budget now kind of opened up for us, as well as some significant wage budget, although we are going to have players with promotional wage rises to contend with. I mean, if we look at our team for next year, if I'm going to be really brutal and say who do I think I can rely on for next season? And I will do this quickly now. When we come back for the transfer special, we'll talk about it. I mean, realistically speaking, I think these are the 4 positions that I need to address as a matter of urgency. I need an inside forward. I need a better box-to-box midfielder. I feel like Fernandez has long-term upside, good potential. He loves important matches, is consistent. I know he got sent off today, but he's improved a little bit already. He's a player who I've seen, in Football Manager do really, really well, and I want to stick with him. The likes of Rojas stood out this year. I may need to get a replacement for Rojas in terms of an even better centre-back, but he performed well this year. Herrero at left-back at 22 has potential to grow. With that in mind, and the fact he's consistent and likes important matches, I think he's good for us. Bicho, I would love to be able to rely on. His injuries are always going to be a bit of a scary thing, but if he could stay fit, he would be kind of my first choice left winger. He's a player who, maybe if a significant offer came in for him, I would consider it just because of all the injury issues he's had. He's been out a fair bit, missed a lot of football, which is difficult, especially with a player who's valued as highly as him. If the right bid came in, I'd probably look to move him on. Obviously, Pablo Torre, we're keeping around, not selling him. Mexica as well, I think, has earned the right to play in La Liga for us. You can see here, he is considered a leading player for most La Liga 2 sides, but he's got potential to improve and become a La Liga striker. Again, enjoys important matches, is consistent. I don't mind having players who are slightly lesser in terms of their overall ability if they're going to consistently perform to their ability. And that is something that obviously we've tried to breed that into the team as we've built it. Next year's going to be the real test of how far can that truly carry us. So yeah, looking at the team, lots of stuff to be done. Before we leave things, I like to do my little end of season awards. It's not going to be surprising. My player of the year is Pablo Torre. He's been absolutely sensational. I'd go as far as to say as he's been the most improved player as well. Despite the fact the average ratings really aren't that different, he doubled his assists, he got even more goals this year. 12 player of the matches in 39 matches is just silly numbers. In terms of clubman, I like to give this award to someone who I don't think is going to be here next year. With that in mind, I'll give it to just Andy. I don't know if he's necessarily been the clubman this year, but when he joined us, we were a team in transition. Now, aged 33, I think he's past his best. The kind of player who, if we missed out on promotion, I probably would have kept him around. With us now going up, it feels like he's probably not of the quality to stay with us. But no, just Andy, you are my clubman, my friend. You did okay. Either way, what an absolutely insane end to the year. We end things on a high. We performed well at the end of the year. Next season is going to be tough. I feel like I said this at the end of last season. In truth, I thought that La Liga 2 was going to be more competitive. But of course, we know what to expect going up again. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, a few of the teams we get to look forward to killing us. And well, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. If you've got a player of the season, let me know it down in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. The hype is real. Transfer episode tomorrow is going to be a big one. And well, until then, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.